Now, a high-ranking team of officers from the military command have been in the Upper West region today, ascertaining circumstances that led to the alleged attacks on civilians by some of the personnel in the Waa municipality, as captured in a viral video. Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwu told Parliament a short while ago the soldiers who went on rampage will be punished and the victims taken care of. We'll be hearing from him shortly. But first, Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Saleh has been leading the military high command in the region in the meeting with the Waa Naa Fuseni Seidu Popo IV, and to render an apology while investigations begin. The brutality is said to have been triggered by a missing mobile phone belonging to one of the soldiers who suspects the driver of a tricycle must have stolen it. This is at least the second reported incident involving military personnel and brutalities. Our Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam has a report from today's meeting following the incident yesterday in the region. But first, we'll take you through a few of some of the incidences, in most of which multiple gunshots have been used.
It all started at Ejura in the Ashanti region. A social media activist lost his life after being attacked by a mob. Residents poured onto the streets to demand immediate action from the government. Military men were deployed to contain the situation. The soldiers fired multiple gunshots, with some aiming directly at the crowd. 2 persons lost their lives, many more were injured. At Agboboloshi, here in Accra, the soldiers were in town yet again. This time around, they were deployed to deal with criminal elements accused of impeding the relocation of traders.
In the process, fired some tear gas.
Multiple gunshots were heard yet again. The latest that has left many shocked happened in the Upper West Regional capital of Waa. Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports the soldiers hit the street in search of a missing mobile phone.
The alleged assault of sea of people by some military personnel from the 10th Mechanized Battalion took place early afternoon at the Tendamba Crescent and into some parts of the Wazongu and Waa Market. The soldiers, numbering over 50, are seen on a viral video whipping any motorists, commercial tricycle operators, and pedestrians. The move is said to be triggered by the theft of a mobile phone supposedly belonging to one of the military officers. The people who bear the brunt most are those who attempt to video record the inhumane and dastardly act. They are whipped with sticks and in some cases metals. Worst of it, some were beaten and pushed to the gutter. Those who took to their heels are given a hot chase and arrested.
Look, like we were watching them. They thought that we were taking videos. They just came in. Even they beat one boy inside my office there. The guy didn't even do anything. They just came and said, what is the bed? The guy said, what bed? This is not a bed, like bed place. So they started slapping the guy, slapping all over the place, and they even asked the rest of them that was standing there that they should come out and lie down. Big men, they were even riding motorbike. They stopped them and said they should lie down on the floor. Stepping on others, then they even broke one guy, their hand. The guy was just walking. He went on both foot and he was coming. They stopped him. The guy said, what did I do? He didn't even know what he did.
For those they failed to arrest, any person they sighted in the vicinity are either whipped with a long stick or battered down with their boots.
We were lying down and people were beaten mercilessly. Who gave the authority to do that? We are indeed citizens of this country and we are willing to go by the laws in this country. But we can't tolerate some of these things. Enough is enough. A goat doesn't bite, but when it goes down to the root, a goat do the biting.
29-year-old vulcanizer Gafur Mahama heard loud noise outside the soccer bed center on the Tindamba Crescent, and in his attempt to peep to see what was happening, incurred the wrath of the soldiers. He is now hospitalized, suspected to have now developed a fractured thigh. Another, who was also a victim of the military brutality, is Clotis Awuni, public relations officer of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council.
So when I filmed it, some of them saw me filming it. So they head towards our vehicle. They were saying that you are filming us. Who is filming? Why are you filming us? And I said, oh, before the NADMO director could talk, they dragged him out of his car, collected his phones. They collected the NADMO regional director's phone and dragged him out of the car. They asked for me. When I turned to look at the other side, they held my shirt, pulled me out, of the car. And when they pulled me out, they were asking me, I'm the one videoing them. Before I could realize, they kept some object, hit my head 3 times on the head, and another one hit from behind.
Upper West Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali held an emergency breakfast meeting to look into the issue. He however called for cool heads while they look into the matter. He disclosed that 5 top officers from the Military High Command will be in the region on Friday morning to resolve the issue.
I've already had a conversation with my brother, the defense minister, and he has indicated that a 5-man delegation will be here in the Upper West region from the Military High Command to come and then apologize to the Waa Naa and other traditional leaders of the region.
Are we going to have investigations into this issue?
The military
and the culprits found out?
Yes, the military will institute investigation into the issue, and they have assured me that those who be found culpable will be dealt with.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Waa.
Well, as you may be well aware of, the military has condemned this incident, describing it as unprofessional. It was contained in a press statement. We'll bring you that press statement shortly if you haven't seen it already. But several similar incidences have been reported, and the chorus from officials is replete with lines. Investigations are ongoing, yet the outcome of these investigations hardly surface in the public domain. Security analyst Emmanuel Bombandi is demanding that such outcomes are made public to boost confidence in the security agencies, the military of which he singles out as often getting away with impunity. He says it is a matter of right that the Ghanaian public is made aware of the outcome of every internal investigation concerning officers who have misbehaved and the kind of sanctions meted out to them as well. He spoke on the AM show.
Military get away with impunity, and so they will continue to be indisciplined and unprofessional, as we saw them beating people in the Upper West regional capital, Waa. I say this because when Ghanaians were horrified to see the military shoot on civilians in Techiman South, the military said they were going to investigate and deal with the circumstances that led to the killing of innocent, or let me put it, Ghanaians who were agitating around issues related to elections. What happened to their own actions of internal investigations? And so one would immediately concede that whatever they decide to do, the public has the right to know the internal disciplinary measures they will take. And not just to say it is going to be internal and they have taken actions against the perpetrators of these abuses and it ends there. Ghanaians would have a right to know what exactly happened.
Security analyst Emmanuel Bombandi there. Well, let me take you back to the statement that was issued yesterday by the military about this incident. And of course, you see that is issued by the military. It says soldiers involved in the disturbances at Waa to be disciplined. The attention of the military high command has been drawn to a video which has gone viral. In this video, some soldiers based in Waa, the regional capital of the Upper West region, are seen molesting civilians in the city without any provocation. It goes on to say that the unprofessional conduct took place on Thursday, 1st of July 2021, and at a time when the commanding officer of the soldiers and the chairman of the Regional Security Council were both out of town on official engagement. The statement says that internal disciplinary measures have been instituted to deal with all those who will be found culpable in the unprofessional conduct by the soldiers. In view of the seriousness of the matter, the Chief of the Army Staff is leading a high-powered military delegation to Waa to meet the traditional and opinion leaders and to find an amicable way of resolving this unfortunate incident. The statement goes on to say that the delegation will also explore means to assuage the anger of the people and promote good neighborliness. The Ghana Armed Forces once again wishes to assure the people of Waa and the general public that their safety is paramount at all times. As such, would not condone any unprofessional conduct by any member of the forces. And it is signed by Colonel Agui Kwashi, who is the Director of Public Relations for the Ghana Armed Forces there. Well, as you heard from Emmanuel Bombande, the outcomes of such investigations ought to be made public. Well, for Member of Parliament for Waa Central, Rashid Pelpo, the actions of the military are bizarre and untenable.
It was bizarre. It was unacceptable. There was a situation nobody can explain, that people would be on their streets, walking peaceful from work to work, and were confronted, accosted, and beaten up by ravaging soldiers, their rights abused, some kicked, some beaten, thrown in gutters, and completely devastated, and people were injured, and it brought panic and fear into town. So this was something that nobody anticipated could happen, and we are very, very unhappy and disturbed by the military involvement in this and their decision to dehumanize people the way they did. We are all here enjoying the rights protected by the laws of the land, and for anybody to abuse such rights the way they did is an affront to societal norms, because our democracy prevails and ensures that we are all free to walk about, do our work, normal work, not be beaten by anybody, no matter what the offense is.
Rashid Pelpo is Member of Parliament for the area. Well, as I said also earlier, the Military High Command has been meeting with opinion leaders in Waa this morning. Rafiq Salam will bring us an update on what is happening so far. He's joining me via Zoom right now. Hello, Rafiq. Rafiq, run us through the outcome of today's meeting. How did it go?
Kadri Ibrahim, Secretary to...
Oh, right. Well, now we'll be talking to you shortly. Let me just get a sense of a wrap of what happened at this meeting today with Rafiq. Rafiq, are you there? Hello, Rafiq. Right, Rafiq. Rafiq, thank you very much. Give us a wrap of how the meeting went today.
Today, the 5-member delegation was led by the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Thomas Opompepra. When he touched down in Waa, he first moved to the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, where he met the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz Ali, and then after that, they moved to the forecourt of the Waa Naa Palace, where they met the overlord of the Wala Kingdom, and also some prominent members of the Walo community, including the Yarana and the Upper West Regional Chief Imam. And there are also some leaders from some sections in Waa, and also the religious groups were also invited to the meeting. And so after that, Na Kadri, he spoke on behalf of the overlord of the Wala area. He spoke about yesterday's incident, which they think that it was a dastardly act, it was callous, and so they want that those perpetrators should be brought to book. And so they talk about compensation for some of the victims of yesterday's attack, and then also they also are talking about putting the medical bills of some of the victims. And then after that, the team went to the Waa Municipal Hospital, where they met 29-year-old vulcanizer, the person of Gafur Mahama, who has developed a fracture in the right eye. And so the team apologized to him and also pleaded with him to at least exercise restraint and also have a place in his heart to forgive them. They also told him that if we think that he needs further medical checkup, he will be given that support to be airlifted to Accra for further medical checkup. And so, as I talk to you now, I'm told that Gafur Mahama has been released, has been referred to the Upper West Regional Hospital, where he's going to, where operation is going to, or surgery is going to be conducted on his eye. And so, as I talk to you now, he's currently speaking with the personnel of the 10 Mechanized Battalion, who allegedly went on the rampage and beat everybody they saw on site. And so the Major General is saying that he will not go back to Accra unless those people who are found culpable, who did the act yesterday, are found. And so currently it's a closed-door meeting at the barracks going on.
Well, Rafiq, let's bring your report to our viewers, after which I'll be engaging Naa Kadri Ibrahim, who is spokesperson for the Waa Naa, as well as Cletus Awuni, who himself is a victim. We'll find out the assessment of this particular meeting from their perspective as victim and, of course, as traditional leaders. Here is a report that Rafiq Salam put together from today's meeting earlier.
The visit of the 5-man high-powered delegation led by the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Thomas Opon-Pepra, is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, to apologize to the people and assure residents that those found culpable will be severely dealt with. He first met the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Sali, at his office before rolling out to the Waa Naa's palace, where he met the overlord of the Wala traditional area, Naf Hussein Seri Piripo IV, and some opinion leaders in the Waa municipality. The Wala community is still shocked to the marrow and yet to come to terms with Thursday's brutalities visited on them by over 5 dozen soldiers who broke loose from the 10 Mechanized Battalion barracks, went on the rampage and beating any person seen on sight without being provoked. Naa Kadri Ibrahim speaks for the Wala overlord.
Waa, a veritable beacon of peace in the country, was suddenly thrown into a state of panic as rampaging men in uniform pounced on unarmed and unsuspecting civilians and pummeled some into pulp. The act was as dastardly as it was unacceptable.
The Wala overlord demands that those who committed the heinous act should be severely punished, the medical bills of the victims taken care of by the Military High Command.
The events of yesterday constitute a breach of mutual trust and respect we had for each other, and the only damage repair we can accept is if the men dragging the reputation of the noble profession of the military into disrepute are fished out and appropriately punished without delay. Nothing less. We also expect a form of compensation packages for those who suffered serious atrocities under their hands.
Major General Opon-Pepra noted that the Military High Command has lots of reverence for the people of the Upper West region and has committed lots of resources for the safety of the people, and therefore not happy with the behavior of the misguided elements in their fold.
We have, as you said, been living in harmony. It's rather unfortunate that soldiers who went for training and just passed out and reported only about 4 days ago, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Military High Command, please accept our sincere apology. And I want to assure you, from today, this will not happen again. Never.
The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Opon-Pepra, assured the people of the Upper West region that they are going to fish out all the soldiers who were involved in that dastardly act. He stated that they are not going to allow any miscreant in the military to spoil the golden relationship that they have with the people of the Upper West region.
That we are going to fish out today all those who were involved in this. and exact the maximum punishment according to our code of service discipline, because we will not allow a few to destroy this golden relationship that exists between the good people of this area and the military. I want to assure you that we are here for your protection and nothing else.
The Chief of Army Staff later visited one of the victims, 29-year-old vulcanizer Gafur Mahama, who developed a fractured thigh, to apologize to him and assured him of supporting him to recover. He pleaded with the victim to have a place in his heart to forgive them for the callous act, promising him of further medical support outside the region if he wishes. Major General Opon Pepra ended the day having a closed-door meeting with personnel of the 10th Mechanized Battalion who are alleged to have brought the name of the army into disrepute.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Waa.
Rafik Salam with that report there. Let's assess today's meeting, like I said, from the perspective, of course, of the victim and of the traditional leaders there. I have Naa Kadiri Ibrahim, who is spokesperson for the Waa Naa, who's joining us via Zoom. Naa, thank you very much for your time. Good afternoon. I also have Cletus Awuni. Cletus himself is actually spokesperson for the regional minister, who was also himself a victim yesterday. Mr. Awuni, thank you very much for your time. We've been speaking to you already throughout the day. Let me start with Naa Kadiri. Now, this afternoon, there has been a meeting which looks like it's been successful between the military high command and then the traditional authorities in your area. If we were to assess the meeting, and all that has been said, that the people will be fished out today, they will be given the necessary punishment. Is that enough from the perspective of the traditional leaders in Waa? Okay. Naa Kadiri, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I do.
So I was asking for you to assess the meeting today, the meeting that you had, from the perspective of the traditional leaders in Waa, the high-powered delegation that came from the military today to meet with the authorities, and the things that they said about fishing out the people who did this today and giving them the maximum punishment. Is this enough for the traditional leaders and for the people of Waa? Speak. Okay, let's try and reposition Naa Kadiri, who speaks for the Waa Naa there. But Cletus, you are in a very interesting position. Like I said, we've been talking to you this morning, but this time we're talking to you after this meeting. At this meeting, a lot of things have been said. You are a victim. You were beaten up yesterday. You speak for the Regional Coordinating Council, by the way. Is this meeting and the things that have been said there, are they enough for you?
Thank you very much. I think you just corrected yourself. I wanted to correct that I am the PRO for the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council,
yes,
not for the regional minister.
Very well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I think I couldn't, sorry for not joining you on Zoom. I'm currently at the hospital now, so I couldn't join you via Zoom. I think the meetings that were held since last night up to now is very fruitful. And I think the outcome of the meetings were good. The Chief of Army Staff came over and we had some meetings with them. I think the regional minister, who is the chairman of RESEC, has registered his displeasure on the incident that happened and actually told them that they pray this shouldn't happen again in the region. I think he called on agents and quick disciplinary actions to be taken against these people who are involved, these military men who were involved in this brutality. So all in all, the Chief of Army Staff has given his assurance. He actually apologized seriously for what happened and said they will not allow such men to draw the name of the noble profession, the military, into disrepute. So he is going to take the issue very seriously. He's going to take it up very seriously, and he wasn't going to joke at all with the matter. So that is the assurance he has given, and he assured that right from today, actions will begin.
I want to find out when he says action, when he says we will fish them out and punish them, what are your expectations? I mean, if you could list them for me categorically, what you expect. Do you expect that these people will be named? You expect that the outcome of this, disciplinary process will be made public, which is what security analysts are calling for, as what will break the impunity? Or do you expect that once he has said it, it will be done and life goes on?
Oh, yes, I believe once he has said it, actions will be taken seriously. And we are equally monitoring the situation. The regional minister is monitoring it. And I believe when no action is taken, we'll definitely know. And when actions are taken, we should know that, yes, actions has actually been taken. Because the information I got was that most of these military men who assaulted people in town yesterday, some of them were newly recruits. They just passed out some 4 months ago. And this is what the Chief of Army Staff said. He will not sit and let them draw the name of the military into the mud. So he actually gave his word. After the apologies, he actually gave his word that drastic measures were kept in place. He said he didn't want to quick to make certain pronouncements, but you can see that he was actually very serious with what he was saying. So I think we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We are all monitoring the situation. The regional minister, who is head of RESEC, is also monitoring the situation. And I don't think they will come and lie to the Ghanaian public that they are going to take actions and they will not do that.
Okay, let me bring in Naa Kadiri. Naa Kadiri, can you hear me now? Hello? Right, I can see you now. What do you expect to see after this meeting? What does the traditional authorities in Waa want to see after this meeting? Security analysts have said that if they are going to be punished, if they are going to be disciplined, whatever happens from that investigation should be made public. Everybody should know what happened. Is that what people from the traditional authority you represent are expecting to see?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to the general Ghanaian public. I think the traditional authorities in Waa, for that matter, His Majesty the Overlord of the traditional area, Waa Naa the Fourth, clearly identifies of this position of the security analyst, that at the end of the day, whatever sanctions are to be put in place should be made public. That we are all in Ghana here, and I'm sure we are all aware of this common adage that actions speak louder than words. And so if actions truly speak louder than words, we want to see that from the military high command with respect to this incident. And so if anything short of true punishment to the perpetrators of this dastardly act, we would not be able to accept it. So we want to see them, for example, if they are to be prosecuted, let the Ghanaian public see that. If they are to be handed down any severe punishments, let the Ghanaian public be aware, not just the people of Waa, not just the people of Upper West region, but the generality of the Ghanaian population should be made aware of whatever is the outcome of investigations into this dastardly act that was committed against civilians of the Wala population by unscrupulous men of the military yesterday.
Did they give you any timelines within which they will be conducting this disciplinary investigation and disciplinary action?
Unfortunately, not as we were told by the chief of army staff at the palace of the overlord. No timelines were given, but we want to trust. We want to trust that they definitely would be taking those perpetrators on and would be giving them severe punishment that could seriously serve as deterrent to any other member of the uniform fraternity who would want to in future engage in such unwarranted, unacceptable behavior.
I'll take your final word, but let me just wrap up with you. The army chief is asking for you to find a place for people like you, the victims, to find a place in your heart to forgive them so that together you can live peacefully. With what has happened, have you forgiven them?
Oh, yes. We have had a very good relationship with the military over the past. So we just have to forgive them, and then we move on. Once justice is served, I think all wounds will be healed. But a situation where this happens and the perpetrator they go scot-free, nothing is done to them. All those who came to brutalize people now go scot-free and nothing happens to them. At the end of the day, those who are injured, those who are affected, the victims, the wounds will never heal. They will keep thinking about this and they will continue to be traumatized.
So
once justice is served and the perpetrators are brought to book and punished for those wrongdoings, I think every wound will be healed.
Okay.
And I think
I hear from both what you have said and what Naa Kadiri has said is that your forgiveness is hinged on the action that will be taken by the military high command against those who did this. What do you want to see? That they will be expelled, that they will be suspended? I mean, do you have anything in mind as to what kind of punishment should come to these people?
I think I don't know their code of conduct and ethics and their regulations, but I am very much aware that some of them were just new recruits who passed out some 4 months ago. So when we're talking about people like that who are involved and they are going to make any punishment on them, definitely they will have to be expelled from the service.
You expect that they will be expelled from the service?
There are such kind of punishment that will be given, but they have their own regulations and they know the kind of punishment they will give to them.
Ms. Awuni, thank you very much for your time. Naa Kadiri, let me end with you. For the people of Waa who are watching and for the people in the military who are watching after this meeting, if you were to give them any final words, what would they be? And of course, you can push in if you have any expectations of the kind of punishment that should come to these people who, if they are found culpable.
Yes, our final words to the good people of Waa would be, as His Majesty said at the palace this morning, to let everybody stay calm and exercise restraint, that we should not let this unfortunate incident be the cause of the destruction of the mutual relationship that has existed between the Wala population and that of the military. And also to the military high command, we want to count on them. We want to count on their honor to truly, as we have been saying, bring the perpetrators of this act to justice. We all know that in Ghana, there's this general perception that for most of the time, some of these things, we would hear of investigations and at the end of the day, everything is just swept under the carpet. If this is going to be one of those cases, I'm sorry, the people of Waa, and for that matter, His Majesty, would not be able to accept the apology that was rendered by the Chief of Army Staff. So all we want will be for justice to be served.
Okay.
We just want them to face the rigors of the law.
Okay.
And as my brother Kuletu said, we are not able to tell how they are going to be dealt with according to the code of ethics of the military. But we want to expect that something deterring enough would be done.
Okay.
So that at the end of the day, in future, nobody thinks of committing such things. And let them be aware that any attempt to sweep this thing under the carpet, as has always been done in many occasions, would mean that we are opening the floodgates for issues of this nature to be meted out to civilians.
Now, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Naa Kadiri Ibrahim speaks for the Waa Naa. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And as you heard them say, forgiveness is possible, but it is hinged on justice. And their expectation of justice is something, a punishment deterrent enough.